Greetings, foolish mortals, and welcome back to another episode of Occultists Anonymous as we venture beyond the veil into... I don't know where I was going with that. I lost it completely.
Just get away from that.
Yeah. Yep. We are going to be spooky tonight, and as always, we are brought to you by Roll20 and all of our geists and ghouls out there in Patreon land. Thank you especially to Adele, Al, Alexander, Alzrit, Bernie, Buck, Cha-Cha Real Smooth, Chandra, Chris is my Geist, Death Essence Spirit Baby, Familiar, or Best Familiar, Doc, Emil, Funzu Sur Ali, George, insert Goosebumps theme, James, John, Josh, Camo, Cat Feathers, Klaus, Crazy Man, Long Live the Queen, Melissa, Michael, Milo, Miss Grumpy, Moku, Mozart D Minor, Nova, Erathic, Other Guy, Paradox Means You're Doing Something Right, Perry, Foog, Porter, Puppeteer, Riafio, Ryan, Sean, Shixara, Karen, Thomas, Toast, Vortex Falcon, Why Gender When You Can Serve the Iron Pyramid, Sultan, and Aethernalis. Appreciate all the monetary support that you all have given us, that we can continue doing cool things like getting some new art and upgrading equipment and all that kind of stuff.
Also, I need to. I just noticed the Michaels are all gone, and we now have Johns. Just saying, Michael's
Bring on
out
more
there,
Johns.
or that. Yeah, that too. Sorry.
Yeah.
please continue.
Marley has a cousin named Michael John.
They must be dealt with.
Sarah has a John Michael and a Michael John.
Well, you see, they're Catholic, so they have like 4 guy names that just get recycled in different orders.
Right.
John Paul, Michael John, John Michael.
If you're feeling particular spicy, you can be Gabriel. Anyways, when last we left off, there had been a colossal clash of kaiju proportions on the battlefields of Belgium. Ooh, I got a second alliteration out of that without even trying. That was great.
Way to go.
Claps in the chat for me. Assuage my ego. That's what I'm here for. So colossal, yeah, you got it. And the crew had destroyed a Reaper, with Adelaide taking possession of its broken mask, and in a moment of quiet study later that evening, the pieces sort of just snap back into place. And you have this just smooth, unmarred porcelain like death mask. No decorations or adornments. It's just a very Phantom of the Opera meets tuxedo mask, sort of just half mask.
It's just an eye mask? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if it was like the Court of Owls from Batman that were just like blank white, black eyes.
Not quite. And on top of all of the hubbub and happenings, there was some expression of distrust, perhaps disillusionment, with the way that the crew was being treated by their employer, expressed by oh my god, my brain is in a state today, y'all. Stafford Quincy Jones. At which point the Knight Commander, sort of one of those classic bits, you know? Oh, he's right behind me, isn't he? Which as the evening went long into the night, over some chess and some drinks, a nice conversation was had that seemed to allow both men to express not only their viewpoints of how things should work, but some more esoteric ways that the world works, and the sort of bomb of knowledge that Geists have replaced the soul of the bound was laid in the lap of Stefford. In other points of the barracks, we had some nice heart-to-hearts, or whatever equivalent is there, between various of our crew and their bound, with some real progress, especially I think being made between Adelaide and Whistling Louie. Anything else I've forgotten?
I mean, there's a giant Avernian Gate out there.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
Well, there's a giant Avernian toothy maw.
Yeah.
It's
It is a gate.
blaster.
In the Stargate sense of it.
Oh, and, there was a weird ghost spirit baby that
Yes.
Dorothy returned
Dorothy
home with.
Had ventured into a different version
You
of
need to
the
bring that
world. I mean, how could we forget, though? Dorothy had during the episode ventured into another version of the world and come back with a the Knight Commander called it a spirit, but also was seemingly both intrigued and perplexed by whatever it was exactly that Dorothy had brought back with her, because it did not seem to follow the rules, at least as far as he understood. So after, we can say a few days have passed or so, there has been time for relaxation, to gather back up your resources, to rest, and to discuss what might be done about the gate.
I did have a quick question, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was editing the video, that's when I get all my, sudden realization things. We deal with essence fairly frequently for ghosts. How obvious was the difference between ghost essence and spirit essence for Dorothy's tag along? Like, just for our purposes for Geist, right? This chronicle, is it a different essence? Or is it like, oh, we could actually interchange these, they just have different flavors?
This spirit seems to be just fine eating the deathly essence that you all have. Would be something that you quickly discover over those couple days.
Okay.
Wow.
What I will say there is explicitly a difference in is when she was coated in that blood plasm, or not plasm,
Mhm.
right? That was a filtered form of essence of a different sort, filling in the gaps of the haunt.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yes, I will say, as far as I'm gonna run, and as far as I think things should be run, essence is essence. Spirits just have to feed off the right flavor.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I'd run Mage and Werewolf and all that. So,
Makes sense to me.
because otherwise, why is it named the same thing?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, if there's any other scouting or research or scenes people want to have?
I wanted to try to learn something from the mask.
Okay.
I want to try to learn about this Reaper, but I'm pretty sure I will get the source of the mask when I'm looking at it, which is also good information to have.
When you say this Reaper, what do you mean?
This particular ghost that put on this mask and came after us.
Okay.
But I think if I do, so we talked about like we should have discussed this at some point in the past week, but a not quite Memoria spell. Right, I don't need his name, do I? You just need a fact about them? 3 facts?
Three things about him. There are 3 relevant things. In this case, you literally ate part of him.
That's true.
You have
yes.
some of his essence in you. You have the mask itself. And so then if there's like one other thing you could suggest.
I was going to go with the Napoleonic soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, that's what he looks like.
Right. Now, generally, the info that you would have known about Reapers is that the mask overlays a sort of persona over top of the ghost. So basically, you would know that anyone that put on this mask would take on Napoleonic tones.
Oh, okay, that the whole appearance of it was related to the mask. Okay.
At least part of it, yeah. Yeah.
Trying to think of what another fact that I know about this guy is, because there's not a whole lot. We didn't really chat. He used the connection to the wolf ghost that it has apparently tamed.
Sure. Yeah, that definitely stands out as like a unique thing there. Yeah. So you can roll Memoria. I'm cool with that.
Okay, and I'm using a willpower, so that's 5 dice. Because I don't think my keys apply. Cold Wind and Chance.
Well, you can always use
you
them.
can always use them.
You would just get the Doom
If
condition.
they're resonant, then you get them you can unlock them for free. If they're not resonant, you can unlock them by choice. And then if you don't roll a exceptional success, you have to either take the Doom condition or pay a willpower. So you can always use your key.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm about to go to sleep, so I'll get at least 1 willpower back, so... Sure, I'll do that. I have to say which one it is.
Yeah, for flavor and stuff.
and they have different
yeah.
dooms.
Different
I
dooms
should
and
look at what those are.
stats.
Chance is next time your character makes a roll with +3 or greater, roll a chance die instead.
That's evil.
Yes. Oh, they're all evil. And then what was the other? Cold Wind.
Cold Wind, yeah.
You gain the extreme cold tilt that lasts for 10 minus synergy hours, or until you actively reveal a damaging personal secret. Yeah, they all suck.
Yeah, I'll go with the Cold Wind one, because that's what I was thinking. Because in my mind, I see this guy as a very lonely figure, like a lone rider on his wolf out eating other ghosts. So I don't know if it's actually resonant, but there's a link there in my head.
It's not.
Because
It makes
it
sense
might-
that that's how you'd approach it.
And that
Just
lets
because it might have some interaction here. Where is this happening that you're using this key? And are you just like by yourself somewhere? Or?
Yeah, probably just like in my bedroom. I would have tried to find like a private place that I wouldn't be walked in on. Because Memoria, like, can other people see it if they walk into what I'm seeing? No?
Let me.
Because the picture in the book has like a scene being painted around the person holding the thing where they can see stuff. I don't know how much of it is in your head.
Character is haunted by visions.
I think you just have the 1 dot.
Yeah.
I think at that point it's just a vision for you.
Okay. Well, yeah, I would still do it.
Mhm.
Like, in a private spot.
Yeah, it's at the higher dot levels that you like force people to become actors in the scene and stuff like that, which is wild. Do we have a roll? 1 success. Good. You
That
spend the willpower?
is wrong.
Hmm?
It was meant to use resolve as well. It's for the
Okay. Throw some extra dice on it.
You only need 2 more successes and you get it for free.
Yeah.
nope.
Why is it on 3? Oh, the keys.
He makes it exception on 3.
Yeah, that's 8 dice and 1 success. But
Yeah.
okay.
It happens. So
And now
we're
I'm
gonna-
just really fucking cold.
Okay, we're dooming. We're dooming and zooming.
Or yeah, spend another willpower.
Yeah, you're like sitting there on your like the edge of your bunk, kind of just crouching over, thinking hard about what you've seen and what you've experienced, and you feel that key turn just in the back of your skull, and just ice and rime form down your arms and creep out onto the mask and envelop it in a like pure crystalline, like perfect coating of ice. And you see to yourself, you see in your mind's eye, a scene below the world, in the underworld. You see in a big cavern of open, bare rock, a series of like cross-hatched pikes surrounding lines and lines and lines of tents, with men, well, ghosts, running around in pairs and formations, doing drills, all in Napoleonic uniforms of the French army, and you see, like you're seeing this first person, right? And you see a large man-shaped ghost, in resplendent uniform with rows and rows and rows of medals, march up with a lead on that wolf.
Ooh.
And hands you the lead in one of your hands and the mask in the other. And and in French, out of your mouth, you understand it. I don't know if you speak French, but you understand it inherently, even though you're hearing it in French. You hear, "Thank you, Corporal. I will not let down the domain. All glory to your army."
Okay. So we've got the Ghost War Camp.
And I will now give you this. Now give you the. Come on.
Dramatic reveal. There it is. Oh yeah. Hate it.
That is the face you see.
Oh, bad.
Ooh, yeah.
So Greg has a context question.
Uh-huh.
That gate that got widened by the arrival of the Reaper, would it be, say, big enough for a column of troops to march through?
It would be possible.
Okay, thank you.
chat at home, if you want to hop on the Discord real quick, I will put this picture into
This horrible image.
Eerie Quiet chat.
Good time.
Yeah, just a really blank-faced, porcelain white, empty eye-socketed face, but with perfectly done-up coif and perfect hair. And I think that the tail end of the image, as you're like turning and walking away, is that like everywhere in camp is kept to perfection standards of military codes and dress and cleanliness and everything like that.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, I would. When I come out of this, immediately find everyone else and relay all of that while like
While
wrapped up in a
covered in-
blanket
yeah.
and still covered in ice. And then, yeah, I'm probably going to go to bed because wrapped up in as many blankets as I can pilfer.
Which
It won't help,
right?
but
Cody offers you drink to warm you up. Because I mean, get drunk, it's not gonna bother you. You already see the damn ghosts.
that's true.
Is Adelaide like reacting like she's freezing, or is she just like a corpse? That's
No, you
frozen?
can see the ice on me.
No, I know I can
Yeah.
see it, but like, are you like shivering and stuff?
Oh yeah. I am freezing.
Cannot be warmed up. You are essentially taking bashing damage at the same rate that you heal it. So you're just not healing if you were to be hurt right now. But
Oh, jeez.
and you probably will not sleep well tonight.
Damn. Yeah.
So maybe I don't get that willpower back. But that's fine.
This also can be
It's been a couple days, right?
yeah. There's a window of time for this to happen. So so what's up?
Just gonna say that Chris is a benevolent and nice GM, is not applying the full effect of extreme cold, and we'll just leave it at that because this is in the past and we're already past it.
Yep.
It's like, oh, that gets real bad.
Yeah, it does.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. That's why I wanted that 5th level of the rage.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because you can just
Mhm.
throw that out for a whole area.
Yep. Freeze everybody. Everybody needs to chill. Time to get cold.
All
Time to
right.
make Mr. Freeze puns.
No,
So
absolutely
angry about
not.
Batman
Yes.
and Robin.
We had like 5 minutes of ice and snow puns on Wednesday night game. It was incredible.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's what I'm talking about.
I threatened to flake on the game if they kept up.
Yeah.
So Adelaide comes to the crew saying, this is what I've seen. Or what's that look like?
I'm basically walking to them, holding the mask like wrapped in a cloth in my hands because everything is frozen. And just sort of holding it out, and it's one piece now and not two like we left it. And I looked at it. There is an army underneath.
Underneath.
In the underworld. This soldier was given this and given some sort of order to do what he did. But there is an army of them.
With an Avernian Gate that is stuck open.
Yes. I don't know what his orders actually were. I don't know what the corporal's plan is. there's a very fancy corporal. But yeah,
Corporal is leading this army?
that's what he called him.
That's peculiar. Perhaps they have a different
Incorporeal
ranking
corporal.
system.
He had a lot of ribbons.
Another faction joins the fray.
Yeah. But I don't suspect that they'll be arriving to ally with us. And we
And
can't
have
even if they wanted to, and we can't let them side with the Axis powers. Did we use the term Axis powers in World War One?
Not this time, no.
Yeah.
I mean, we have ghost soldiers in our unit. Well, we don't have an army. Unless the Knight Commanders got one hidden away somewhere.
Fully
We
functional.
should also
Or not
Yeah,
functional.
I don't think so.
we should also recognize that we are not exactly fighting the war as our erstwhile compatriots are.
No.
As much as we cling to the notions of our previous lives, we are in a different position. We have different allegiances. Much of what we cared for so deeply before will eventually fade as we remain in this form, as shades of a once wonderful youth.
You doing okay, Stefford?
I'm doing quite well.
My allegiance is still to the soldiers that I'm here to take care of.
That makes sense. I
This
think we're all-
business with the Knight Commander is secondary.
I wonder what the Knight Commander thinks about that.
He's welcome to take it up with me.
And I'm sure he already knows.
All I mean to point out is that we are technically here at his leave. So, as much as we might like to assume we have as much agency as we desire, it is untrue. So, however we approach this army, I think it should be with the understanding that it is likely in opposition to us because we don't want horrid chthonic entities to come above, as opposed to it presenting a danger to one particular political faction.
In this particular case, both apply. I want to defend these soldiers as much as I want to defend the living.
That's fair. I'm not contesting that desire. I'm merely pointing out, for the sake of objectivity, what will likely be our orders in some context. And
And
if it does encroach on our commitment, our personal commitment to the honorable soldiers we serve with, we might, some of us, experience a crisis of conscience.
In the interest of maintaining discussion flow, I'm just going to say that you're welcome to believe what you believe, but don't take my lack of comment as acceptance or agreement.
Agreement with what?
The things you just said.
About the
All
Knight
right.
Commander, I think.
And our role in society, it's not germane to what we're doing and dealing with here. What if this corporal who is leading this army is actually a recruit for the other side?
Very well could be.
Garden Variety ghosts don't generally interact in significantly meaningful ways with the rest of the world. Generally, is that you guys know more about this than I do? Is that
I mean, he definitely seemed more important, different from the foot soldiers.
He was at least as powerful as your bound,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, he is not a normal ghost.
I'm not thinking about him in particular. I'm talking about the army in general.
Mhm.
A garden variety ghost doesn't generally interact with the world in a meaningful way. Is that a true statement?
Sure.
I mean, most
For
of
our
them stay
discussion, yeah.
in the underworld. Yeah.
So most of that army, you can probably assume, is garden variety ghosts who wouldn't have any meaningful impact on the battle above ground.
I mean, if they come through, then they could. If they choose to.
and if there's something
But they would still
empowering
come through in shadow, though, right?
in Twilight. But yeah, but there
Sorry.
are.
I mean, it's not unusual for them to have abilities that can impact the physical world if they are not in the underworld.
Mhm. Yeah, even without materializing, they can still.
You know tales of poltergeists?
Think one of our ghosts is quite capable of setting things on fire.
Hmm.
All while
But it's
still
hard
in
to build
Twilight.
But a lot of those are like piecemeal and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but fairly random. That's not like every ghost has the ability to set things on fire.
But if they're a
Not every
trained
ghost
army,
can throw, right, but not every ghost can throw kitchen knives across a room, poltergeist sort of style. So if it's all sort of random, it's kind of hard to build an army around that. But these look really regimented. I wonder if somebody on the other side has a way of empowering them when they come through.
when you
I would
say
like
others,
to
go ahead.
I would like to reinforce the way I described that army. I might be somewhat ignorant of combat tactics, but the impression I got from what Adelaide shared and our recent experience, however brief, suggests to me that if I were attempting to assault or come from the underworld with a carefully managed and developed army, I would not use as my main troops what you were referring to as garden variety ghosts. I would use chthonic entities, denizens of the underworld, that are unique, more powerful, more pliable to the whims of whoever this corporal is. And so I think it's worth assuming that whoever we have to interact with will present a potent threat.
If nothing else, I mean, Napoleon was decades, poor Cody, ago. That's a lot of time to recruit across the entire underworld. You know, we know ghosts are hungry for essence, and it sounds like, hey, demonstrate your proficiency at this thing. 3 square meals a day, roof over your head. It works for the living.
Why come to the above ground if you wouldn't have an effect on it?
Right. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Is they're either this has been a long time in the building, because those chthonic entities that you're talking about, my sense is that they're fairly independent-minded. It might be hard to put together an army of them in a short space of time. So either this has been really long in planning, or they have some way of empowering them. And maybe if we can figure out what might be empowering them, we can diffuse this before it goes off. Was my train of thought.
Regardless, we have to go in.
Indeed, once more into the breach.
Do we go in by the front door, or take the back door again?
I mean, at this point, we have no idea where that leads. Like, these, pointing off vaguely towards the graveyards, these Avernian gates lead to the upper reaches, but that one has teeth, is turned sideways, and is supersized.
It's also the one that he came out of.
Right. We have no idea where that could lead.
Presumably, it's the best chance at getting to wherever he was from.
I was afraid you were going to say that.
Because the gates, again, yeah, the gates don't all go to the same place.
No, I know. This idea of climbing into a gaping maw filled with razor-sharp teeth is a little disconcerting.
If it makes you feel better, I'll go first.
It's less filled with razor-sharp teeth now than when it was smaller.
They're spread out.
They're still the same size teeth. They're just now like 40 feet apart.
Aren't they also pointed in one direction? This is an out-of-character question. When you described them before, didn't you also suggest that the teeth are pointing down?
Yes.
In effect, preventing things from escaping? Yes. Right, gotcha. So, Stafford would also say, if we are to quell our fear and disgust and slide smoothly down, you likely won't feel the bite of those teeth.
Yeah.
Just like a shark, smooth in all directions.
Aren't sharks rough-skinned?
No, sharks are smooth in all directions.
Smooth in all directions.
Clearly, I'm missing a reference.
Yes.
Actually, that's not a terrible idea. I could take a rope, lower me down. I mean, don't give me that look, Dorothy. Of the four of us, I am the most robust. I don't have the sneakiness you do, or the, I'm going to say aggression, Stafford. But
we are all filled with rage. Some of us are just more empowered by it.
That's true. And worst comes to worst, I can fly up out of it.
Or creep.
That too, but I don't know about, is it a cavern roof and all that. It's just wings, just fly.
Like slime, clinging to the surface, slicking the edge of the teeth, oozing your way up.
Stafford, did I upset you this morning or something?
Mall.
Did I?
How did the meeting with the Knight Commander go? Did you and his Sims get along?
Yes, we did. It gave me a lot of perspective.
Okay. Because you just seem to be coming from a really dark place.
I feel, we are dead and will forever be. We've recently engaged horrific creatures as part of, in some ways, our expected role in doing so. I think you had a more direct experience with something grotesque than I did. I've just woken up with a better appreciation for who I am and what my relationship is with jagged shards.
I feel very much alive, don't you? Sure, we're kind of straddling the line, 1 foot in one world and 1 foot in the other, but I'm still breathing.
I believe for us now, alive is a technical condition.
I mean,
it is not an intrinsic state or identity for us.
The reverse could be said about.
Commander talk about.
Oh no! Don't do this now.
What did we talk about?
Right? This is not the poet that I come to know. It feels like you're looking at things in a different perspective.
I am. And that is also due to the fact that I've realized that I am bound to jagged shards because I am in many ways a blood-coated maelstrom of sharpened slivers contained within a silvered corpus. But to answer your question directly, the Knight Commander withdrew the veil from my eyes. The veil I kept over them, unintentionally, helping me preserve this illusory notion that my state had not changed, that my being had not become something more, something different. Although I might seem morose or ghoulish in my outlook, I think it is a more honest appreciation for the state of who we are, for what we are.
Well, I hope that works out for you.
It feels like it.
For mine, like I still have a daughter back in England and grandkids that I love very much. I'm not prepared to just let all that go and embrace death or whatever it is that you're doing. And I'm not judging that. That's fine if that's how you want to go.
Well, if I can interrupt you briefly, I believe you've misunderstood my attitude. I'm not suggesting that our novel condition is mutually exclusive with the attachments and responsibilities we had before we temporarily abandoned the mortal coil. I mean just that it is naive of us to think that nothing has happened and that we are no different, just with, as it were, spooky abilities. We are not people in the same sense. We are not beings of the same nature. We are different. And to address your earlier point, I was merely making observations as I am now, not making an argument about how anyone should think about this or claim a particular allegiance.
Okay, because I was definitely getting that vibe. So
I think you assumed that.
That's fine, and I acknowledge that I was probably doing that, so I'm glad you cleared that up.
Yeah, personally, I don't feel that I am a different being. I am the person I always have been, with a companion. I have abilities, but that's not a core part of me. Louis is. And we're alive together.
Yeah, I can just see the death bubbling in the background.
About this time, a messenger arrives with a package. This big a box.
Mm-hmm.
It is handed directly to Stefford. Knight Commander told me to make sure that this package arrived safely in your hands, sir.
Thank you.
You might want to read the note really quick, just from past experience.
Of course.
We got a package. It was take 10 steps to your left.
Right, yeah, I was like, hang on, I'm just gonna...
It just says, no, your other left.
If there is indeed a note, he will read that out loud, as he has been doing.
It says, Stefford, I proceeded with haste with the project we discussed last night. Thankfully, my colleague owed me a favor.
So then Stefford looks at all of you with a expression of reserved delight. It's not smug.
That's more unsettling for Dorothy than everything else that's going on.
And he starts slowly and carefully opening the package, right? With
So
no
inside
haste.
So it's brown paper wrap.
Cool.
It is then a small wooden crate.
Wonderful.
inside of that is like lots and lots of like hay stuffing and padding and stuff like that. And then there is a lacquered wooden box.
Dorothy just slowly stepping closer to Adelaide.
Just like reaching up to look
It is
curiously.
made of like some sort of exotic wood you maybe have never seen or could dream of seeing in front of you, but it is almost pitch black, like ebony. And it has a hinge on the top, and inside of it is a this big or so contraption made of gold.
Cool. Yeah.
But it shimmers and has a tint to it, like perhaps it has been alloyed with something. And after looking at it for a brief second, you realize it is a telegram receiver.
Wonderful.
And inside of the there's another note like on the lid of the box holding it. It said this should have enough power to send and receive 3 messages. Make sure you think through what you're sending.
Message number 1. Does this work?
So it's a telegraph receiver. Awesome. Does the note? What did you say?
It does both. Yeah, it does both.
Yeah.
I did another word. So.
And does the note elaborate on the length of those messages that it can send?
The intent of the writing and the way I phrased it is that, I don't say out of character, is that he is prompting you to make sure that you are sending a thought.
Okay, gotcha.
A composed singular message.
Excellent.
Probably
okay.
like a telegraph.
Of ambiguous length.
Right.
Okay. Because with telegraphs, because I think a telegram is delivered by a person.
Right.
A telegraph is the device that you use to send the messages. But there's a cost in electricity, and so that's why they were often punctuated and devoid of certain parts of speech. But anyway, so hand wave narrative. Make sure it's concise. Gotcha. That's sufficient for me.
If we want to take the lampshade off, think of it like sending from D&D.
Cool. Sounds good to me.
25 words.
25 words.
That works.
Thereabouts. Yeah. A couple sentences, a singular, like composed thought.
Cool.
To get a message across.
Excellent. So after unveiling it to everyone, Stefford would say, as part of my conversation with the Knight Commander, I also impressed upon him successfully that much of our difficulty is due to avoidable ignorance. And so I requested that he investigate a means by which we could reach out to him when we thought something deserved his attention, or we were in dire straits, such that we would greatly benefit from his direct assistance. And fortunately, to my delight, he was able to do this more quickly than I anticipated, which is convenient considering our likely impending voyage.
Ah, yes, convenient. The only way the Knight Commander seems to work.
He has a measured understanding of things. I'm glad I have a better appreciation for it now.
Well, now we have even less reason to not venture forth through the gates of hell.
Do you want to tell him about the corporal? before we dive?
I mean, that could just be a message to you.
Right, I was gonna say.
Out the telegraph.
Yeah.
We can definitely leave the message behind for when, because I'm sure the Knight Commander shows up semi-frequently to the camp. Yeah. We've seen him several times here.
Do we want to take a couple riflemen with us for support?
I do not plan to take anybody more than us. Worst comes to worst, we come back
You
if
take
we
some of your
die.
ghost friends with you?
Yeah.
I mean, I
This is
plan
a
to bring,
horrible idea.
I
To
plan
get eaten?
eaten or conscripted. Yeah. No, I plan on bringing 4 ghosts.
Okay.
If we determine that we need further reinforcement, we have a way to request it. If we need a evacuation plan, which Cody says with absolute distaste, because last time he evacuated someplace, it didn't work out too well. We have a way to call for an evacuation. This gives us I almost said phone call home, but yeah, a way to at least report our situation.
I was just thinking some extra firepower might come in handy, that's all.
I think it would be unnecessarily risking their lives.
And
I would suggest that we
sorry, real quick.
go ahead. Yes.
Adelaide would have stressed that, again, there were thousands of soldiers in this camp. A few extra people with you is not really going to make a difference if it comes to all-out combat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the point Stefford's going to make, which is that, and I appreciate you for reminding us of that, Chris. So Stefford says, I would suggest that we consider this to be entirely a reconnaissance mission.
Okay.
That said,
what I can do.
we should definitely inform Project Persephone that we are going in, and that if anything comes out of that does not look like the 8 of us, it gets blown to hell.
Yes.
9 if
That
the Knight
seems
Commander
prudent.
seems to come out. We leave tomorrow. Give us time to resupply. I have an empty bag of Twilight goodies I would like to refill.
And I would really just like to rest.
Very cold.
Yes.
I'm very cold. I have 1 willpower.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this conversation was happening after.
No, this
the
was that
couple
night.
days. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's all the same night.
So yeah, in that case, yeah, Cody would be
Or
like
this
in
was
a couple
the,
days.
the next day,
Right.
just for time from getting the project done. So before we go on a little break here in a second,
Mhm.
Cody, do you want to test out this rope thing you're trying?
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, the idea of like rappelling down with somebody on the other end and then just poking his head in and then see if he can climb back out.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to tie yourself up in a nice, good harness and have some folks lower you down. And the gate's open, so you go right through. Your rope does not get cut or anything like that. There's no danger of falling. Quite plainly, you do not have enough rope.
Yep.
There is, before it gets lost into a black abyss, there is probably several hundred feet of vaguely illuminated space.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
I'm sure he's got like a
Oh.
flashlight or something like that.
Yeah. Like a big torch or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's several hundred feet of vaguely illuminated space that you can see, and then it just goes beyond that.
Do we have like any kind of like twinkling like lights down in the distance?
Nothing.
Ooh. Okay.
Or break, do we have a quick time for a quick scene with Cody?
Mhm.
So evening before we're going, Dorothy.
Real quick though.
Yep, tracks down Cody. Go ahead.
When you get, you kind of tug on the rope a little bit and get pulled back up and have to avoid the teeth.
Right.
Coming back the other way, it's a little bit harder. It didn't matter if you bumped against the wall on the way down.
Yeah.
And you come back up, and they're, the three people that were there, kind of supervising you, keeping you safe. One of them has just been handed a big crate. And it's marked with like Royal Air Force insignias.
All right.
And this just got dropped off. And then they're like, crank it open, and yes, it is stocked full of parachutes.
Yep. These are terrific. All right, we're gonna take these back to camp, boys. I'm really curious if the rest of the group is afraid of heights.
Craig, go ahead.
So Dorothy tracks down Cody at some point during the evening, looking a little bashful. I know you know how to fight.
Sure.
So, can you teach me?
Hang on. Were you talking about fighting, or were you talking about shooting a gun?
Well, I can do a little bit with the bayonet because the Centurion, I can kind of tap in a little bit, but that's about the extent of my fight stuff.
Gotcha.
And I have a feeling we're going to be doing a lot of that, and it's not really my thing. So, can you help an old lady learn how to
throw a punch? That's more Stefford. Have you seen him box? But
you're more all around warrior, soldier.
And Cody blushes. It's like I can show you how to throw a punch. I can definitely show you how to shoot.
And she just kind of holds up her arm and say, "Well, look at me. What do you think would be the best tactic for somebody like me?"
Okay, yeah, fair. It's like, okay, we're going to do Firearms 101 the night before assaulting the underworld.
Yeah, just a training montage that night, I guess, is what I was looking for.
That.
Cool.
All right. I love that. And this, like, I would like this scene to just happen, like, as Cody's, like, still hawking, carrying this, like, crate full of
parachutes. It's like, I will tell her about this thing afterwards.
Yes.
We're going to hear all about the garden club that she was headed of as we drop.
Okay. From there, we're going to take us a little break. YouTube, you won't even notice this. Twitch chat will be right back. And when we get back, we're going to go skydiving.
It's more like a
terra diving?
Slightly controlled fall.
Based jumping.
World War I parachutes were really simplistic.
Oh, Lord. Okay. We'll be back.
All right. Be back.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Picking back up where we left off. Is there anything else that anyone wants to do before you jump into the underworld with some very top of the line, high tech,
it is
well researched?
Yeah.
Very sus parachutes.
It's like my granddaughters would do better.
Well, actually, considering what we are about to do, and while Cody has a very like, hey, it's cool if we die, we'll come back, doesn't necessarily know if that applies in the underworld. And actually, Drew doesn't remember either. I haven't looked it up, and I'm trying to be good about that. But because this is definitely one of those potential suicide mission kind of things, he is going to find somebody who can play piano or something like that, and ask Adelaide for a dance.
Ooh.
Okay.
Specifically after Stefford doing that whole like, well, we're dead thing. Cody is like, nope, I am alive. And yeah,
you cling to false hope, hoping to avoid the fate that awaits us all.
Yes.
But the truth and acceptance is that what's dead can never die. Exult in the situation you have been granted, such that you can escape that which you feared when you were once alive.
I'm a dance with a pretty lady, thanks. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah,
Maybe in like 50 years.
I didn't want to cut in the scene because it was going very well, but like when Stefford is like doing all his very like nihilistic poetry, I'm just imagining it that bleeds just like, this motherfucker's spitting.
Probably, yeah. Key of passion.
Yeah, so in the basement of one of the homes in town, there is a like
Not a tavern.
A guy has set up a bar, more or less, that like officers and stuff occasionally come hang out with at a few minutes, and just that like semblance of normalcy is enough for everybody involved. And
it's probably like toilet gin or something.
it's not the good stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not,
It's what is left in the bombed out wreck of the city.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's occasional things that the officers are able to nudge
Right.
and get delivered and stuff.
Yeah, and a lot of that is like, they either like bring things with them for him to pour for them, like that, like to sort of play the roles and stuff like that.
Cool.
But yeah, there's you head over there and I think there's a badly out of tune piano being played, but like I said, it's more about the pretending for a few minutes that the world isn't ending outside, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Why does that sound familiar? Press it down, Chris. Press it down.
Don't look up.
Don't look down.
Don't look up.
Look.
But yes, have a nice evening pretending that we're not about to go on a suicide mission.
Yep. But yeah, with that, he's like, all right, screw it. Got to do it. Nobody else can do it. It's got to be us. Actually, I have Morden over there on the wall if I need to get him down, now that I think about it. Had to be me. Somebody else could have got it wrong.
So, what time of day do y'all set out?
Sled?
I mean, for Cody, it's like good night's sleep and then in the morning, because let's be honest, time of day really doesn't feel like it's going to matter in the underworld. So might as well go in well rested.
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking a time at which we wouldn't be, that we could sneak out to it, because it is in the middle of no man's land. So I was thinking like at night we could sneak, maybe.
It's not a bad point, because we really don't want to come back out victorious and find a bunch of Germans having taken the spot. Yeah.
Or getting ourselves shot, getting out there. Our own people watching us go, which also seems bad.
Yeah, the mundane soldiers. Yep. Yeah, okay.
Why not?
You can still rest well, but we should probably head out under cover of darkness.
For Ralph, well, for Stefford, Cody would not want it to look like he is running away and just going off somewhere and then disappearing, right? If he were,
That makes sense. Yeah. Was that in response to what you thought I was asking, or?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, what Steffer was going to say. I just paused because I didn't want to interrupt. Steffer was going to say, why not cherish Moonlight's gentle embrace one more time before we descend into darkness?
I love Steffer.
Steffer's back. Hey guys, he feels better. But yeah. That said, when it comes time, unless there's something else going on, Chris, Cody is just full send, just like, yep.
Specifically,
Yes.
when got this.
Yes. Yeet, indeed.
Got the yeet mug.
Oh yeah, you gotta do it.
All right. So, with no further ado or embellishment, we have our 4 brave bound standing over the jaws of death, lit by moonlight above and the pale ectoplasmic glow of the gate from below. And got their backpack on, their shoes tied tight. Hope they don't get in a fight. And yeah, who goes first? Is it Cody? It's Cody, isn't it?
I'm just standing here, like, leaning into Dorothy, like, I don't know how to use a parachute.
Oh, Cody, I'm sure Cody...
Yeah, I'm sure there's been, like, safety briefings. And they're rather rudimentary to the point of, like, being easy to figure out. Like, there is a backpack and one big handle.
It's also timing on when do you pull it, because...
just make sure your plasma is topped up.
Oh yeah, do we get that back? How do we get that back?
You were going into...
Or no, I'm good, I have 10. Right.
You're going in with full resource.
Get it back by feasting.
Yep.
On the
there's so many ghosts for us to
bodies
eat.
of the fallen.
Yeah, I ate the dead reaper. Oh. What are we doing with that mask? I would have wanted to give it to the Knight Commander to keep it safe. It's definitely not coming with us.
You get it packed up into a box and sent off. All right. In a line 1, 2, 3, 4, you propel yourself off of a ledge. It's about a 5-foot drop before you actually cross the threshold. There you go. That's the word I was looking for, or one of them at least. And once again, you have I didn't go over it last time, but that strange perception change of yourself, where you can see your wounds. You are reminded, obviously, of how you died. And you come across as a little bit more dead, and your geists are a bit more, well, alive is not the right word, but present is maybe what I'll go with. And you all have time to be horrified and terrified by the fall and by everything that's going on, as the teeth that sort of guard the edge of this cavern, gate, tunnel, grow larger as you fall closer and closer to the center. And then as you go forth into truly dark space, as you can picture kind of a tunnel and then it just opening out, and suddenly you have nothing to reference, and a pale green dot shrinking above you, as the tunnel gets further and further away. You at some point reach terminal velocity, and it becomes a bit almost sensory deprivation-ish, where were it not for the others yelling and screaming and the sound of air rushing by your head, you could not tell what was happening in, on, or around you.
Ooh.
What do you do?
Mind everyone that thought he said that this was a bad idea. I told you this was
I'm
a
just
bad
listening
idea.
very intently for Cody to open his parachute.
Yeah, I imagine we probably at least. It sounds like we have enough time to kind of coordinate and get close to each other. And
It takes some doing. Why don't we
maybe roll for it, Chris. I'm gonna roll for it. Athletics?
yeah. Dexterity sounds like.
I'd be okay with that, sure.
Do we all roll this?
Maybe like a group check
I
kind of thing?
Cody's doing like a action hero kind of thing, leading this charge, so I'm just gonna let him roll it and
On you.
figure out the mechanics of skydiving on the fly.
Ooh, I know. He could use, he could turn into ooze and pull our chutes for us.
Oh no.
Stretch out oozy tentacle arms. And
I had thought about basically being just like the monkey in the middle, but no.
you know what? We could just use you as a parachute. But your body has
Oh, trust me.
sufficient tensile strength.
That's truly horrific.
When
That's fantastic.
until the parachutes, like he was like, "Oh, you're gonna need more rope." I'm like, "Okay, how am I gonna do this? I could fly, but no, I can just do this little." Yeah, I thought about it, and then the parachute showed up, so I didn't have to do it.
Cody's middle name Reed.
Absolutely not. Do not compare me to that man,
What?
Richards.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
yeah, that's a. Ooh, okay.
Choose.
No,
It's
by the way,
choose.
to the next question.
Oh, really?
Absolutely not.
You're not gonna die. We're not gonna die.
That's true. What kind of end this
My next
episode?
question was, I don't really think you'd be going in for a dramatic failure here, so I'll just go ahead and skip that question and ask the next one.
Why not? What's the
But
matter?
you say no to that, so you are going for a dramatic failure?
Right, yeah.
Yes.
No,
Do it.
absolutely not. No.
All right.
More
I do
specifically
win.
from the in-character thing, if Cody is desperate for this to work, so
Right.
it would
Fair enough.
Yeah, but dramatic
Fair
failure
enough.
isn't an in-character decision.
Right.
Yeah, he's so desperate that he's
You get to
influencing
do
the
something
meta
terrible
narrative.
to your own character.
Ah.
There was a tweet I saw today that said, "My goal when creating characters for tabletop games is to make them as hot and sad as possible." It's like, oh, hell, I have been found. Okay, so without a dramatic failure, what I will say is that it takes some time and some effort. But you eventually sort of start being able to swoop around, and you have flown now. You've got some experience in how aerodynamics work, thanks to your horrific blood powers.
Good stuff there, doesn't he?
And you manage to like gather the three of them, and like, okay, now you two hold hands.
I'll come back for you.
and
Just stay here.
you go to grab Stefford and swing him in, and kind of collide with everyone. And you like make sure you've got Stefford like by the wrist and kind of just like grab him onto like the strap of Adelaide's pack. But you've kind of built up too much like sideways momentum, and you kind of go tumbling off a good ways away. And it is as you are spinning through the air like that, kind of out of control, that you see a sparkle of some sort of light. And then you start seeing a bunch more of them. And they are in like a band, like a winding band of like
Like following a river?
Well, yeah, yes, but I'm trying, like, in your, like, in the state you're in, it takes you a minute to put it together, and you're like, there's no way that it's the Milky Way, but that's what it kind of seems like as you get closer and more of it starts lighting up. And then you notice that it's like, it really is like curving like a river, and then you remember what you know about the rivers in the underworld and that you're heading right for it. And that seems like a bad enough thing, and like triggers all the...
I'm sure that It That Bleeds is like, that is the one place we do not... Well, there's two places down here. Two places we don't want to land, but that would be one of the bigger ones, yeah.
And you throw your chute. And everyone else can hear that happen and go off, and Cody's like, don't aim for the lights.
I think actually once the parachute is deployed, scramble for the flashlight and is just waving it around just desperately.
Is that a signal for all of us to attempt a roll to successfully land? Or are you hand waving it?
Hand wave it.
Okay.
I made up the big pit to skydive into. I thought that was cool enough. I don't.
It is really cool.
Right,
I like it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
There's enough threatening shit once you get on the ground. It's fine.
We are airdropping into the underworlds.
Yeah. That said, as you kind of and get caught by your parachute, and there's creaking and straining in the leather straps of your backpacks, and so sort of dangling in midair in a really just unpleasant sort of way. You hear like big movement of air above and around you. And it is still very dark, right? Even though like the main three of y'all are all fairly close. You had to separate a little bit to let your shoots go and everything, but you can see Cody waving his light around, and then there's more sound coming from around your parachutes than should be. And then you hear this sort of like leathery flap nearby.
Yes.
And Cody's like big torch like kind of comes across one as he signals at you. And there's this like just brief glimpse of just a long leathery wing with the size of, well, larger than anything should have wings.
Ooh.
The underworld sucks. The whole way down.
Yep. Yeah, so what did the three of you do in this moment? There is something nearby.
Well, dangling from a bed sheet entwined doesn't seem like a great idea if there's aggressive flying predators in the area.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm gonna, before I cut the sheet, I think I'm gonna try and activate Shroud.
Okay.
Because then I can actually fly and do something to defend myself rather than just like, sit there like bait.
Sure.
I'm going to try and use a key.
Okay. I mean, you can always use a key.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good time.
Which one are you using?
Tear stain key.
The tear stain. Yeah.
Manipulation. Okay.
Excellent. That is an exceptional success.
What can I do with one of those? I haven't had one yet.
Does it say something about it on the comp?
Usually it's
plasma's free, I think.
Yeah, you get some stuff back afterwards if you don't use it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it ends without resolving, in other words, you don't use all the charges,
Okay.
you get half your plasma back.
Cool. All right.
Okay.
So
what
on flying.
enhancements and things are you doing?
I'm doing it with the fly.
Okay, so that's 2 plasma for that. How many did you spend on the basis one?
4. So it takes a few seconds for her to activate it.
You have synergy too, right? You bought that last time?
Yep.
Okay, so you can do it in 1 turn.
Oh, I can do it one turn? Okay.
Yeah, the stuff that came from the keys.
Yeah, you get 4 from the key.
Oh, you're right.
You can spend
I forgot about that.
regardless of that, and then you can spend 2 per turn on your own. So you can do the 4 base plus the 2 enhancement, and you're good to go.
Cool.
Yeah, you can hover and fly in any direction at half your speed, and then remind myself what the Shroud condition does. You can enter Twilight for a number of turns equal to your Shroud rating.
Yeah, per charge.
Cool. Excellent. Yeah. It is a strange feeling to be able to sort of fly in a ghostly levitational manner while falling. Like gravity just sort of stops working on you, but your momentum carries for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm falling faster than my movement speed right now, so the best I can do is slow down.
Right. You managed to not get caught up in your parachute as it sort of falls limp below you as you slow down, and everyone else.
My plan was once I activated, I was just gonna take it off.
Okay. Yeah.
And let it fly away. Then I don't have to worry about it.
Okay. Yeah, you take it off, and the sort of change of weight pulling down at it makes it unable to stay spread and structurally sound, and it just collapses and spirals and drops, and that bit of motion suddenly draws the attention of something, and you see below you this giant figure is the best way that your brain can put it together. It seriously just feels like you are seeing something wrong. Has this 14, 15 foot long wing just sort of collapses down around the backpack part of this thing and tears it apart.
Right. I don't have a lot of tools in the toolbox, guys, so if somebody else has some ideas, please go ahead.
Sure.
Oh, with Shroud on, that means I can't really unleash Centurion, can I?
No.
Not the same
Because
time.
then I have the aerodynamics of the piano.
Explicitly can't.
Yeah, okay.
Not unless
Yeah, I really have no tools in the toolbox, so...
Cody had a little conversation with everybody after the last event. It's like, hey guys, fun fact. At least the 3 of us, because I don't think, Adelaide, you don't have Call or Shroud or any of those little merge with your Geist ones, right?
Yeah, I didn't get experience last week because I cut out 3.
3 whole experience. I like to spoil my players' chat.
It's a question of, do I buy another synergy or do I put a dot into Marionette so I can throw multiple things?
This is a question. Stefford or Adelaide, you have just seen something descend upon the parachute that Adelaide dropped.
Dorothy dropped.
Or sorry, Dorothy. Yes. And there's a bit of a ghostly glow from her wrapped up in her geist, and sort of a more controlled descent, shall we say. And then you hear off, like above and to your left, you hear another set of wings flapping and stirring about.
Yeah. I know exactly what Zephyr's going to do, but I will wait for Ash.
I was just thinking of a way to distract it in some way. Like, I was trying to think, do I have anything that, like, have like an emergency flare?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, light that and throw it
Sure.
in the direction of the thing as far away from me as I can.
Yeah. Give me a dexterity. Dex athletics, wits, something. I'm okay pitching. With survival. Just
Yeah, I'll do that with survival.
something to try and do this without, setting yourself on fire or
The parachute on
And in
fire.
a way
Yeah.
that
yeah.
a way that sends it away
Mm-hmm.
and doesn't just flag it to come at me.
I'm having a definite, like, Jurassic Park and the T-Rex moment here.
Mm.
2 successes.
Cool. Yeah, you managed to get the flare lit and puck it off. And again, it doesn't seem to have a body in the light of the flare. It is just 2 wings stretching out, like 2, like they're leathery bat wings, but then there's like a feathered edge on the bottom of them. It is something that, again, just almost
And there's
hurts to look at.
No bat in the middle.
Yeah, there's no body in the middle. But as it swoops around and gobbles up the flare, you see for a brief second that there is a horrifying, just like toothy, like octopus mouth just at the center of these wings.
Cool. It's a beaked patagium.
It's
I
not.
like octopus
It's not a
ones
beak.
so much
It's
better.
it's teeth that fit together, right?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Like a lamprey.
A lamprey, yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Terrible.
but
Fantastic.
not
Yes.
or organized is not the way to think of it, right? It is not
Mhm.
symmetrical. It is not
Ooh,
well
I
fit
got
together.
you.
It is
Bad.
number of teeth of different sizes fitting together to gobble something down.
A horrid cluster
Yeah,
of jagged tentacles adorning this flap.
Zephyr's got some shit to write about it.
Right,
Sure,
yes.
sure.
Well, let me just pen this down while I'm falling.
Inspiration.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's exactly how he's feeling. And the best part about this is, as I was alluding, right, Stefford feels so much more comfortable with jagged shards at this point, realizing, oh, wait a minute, this is me, right? I thought it was him and I needed to hold him back, and it's me. And so we're descending into darkness and potentially falling prey to these things. And so Stefford starts feeling the adrenaline course through his body, and recognizes that this is a battle of beasts. And upon noticing that they have violent intent, he then says to Jagged Shards, before Jagged Shards can, emote a desire to unleash, we will show who is the prey. And he's going to vent his rage by unlocking the key of beasts, because humanity is gone and it's time to get beastly.
okay.
And so with an inhuman growl, Stefford Quincy Jones unlocks the rage with the key of beasts and is going to use, let's see, which he's going to put it all, vent it up as normal, and then he's going to enhance with the free enhancement for Maelstrom. So he's going to start attacking at a distance. So he sends out crimson-coated silvered shards to rend the patagium into tattered flaps of flesh. And I will make a roll. What is the patagium's defense?
One more time.
Oh, didn't hear me?
No. Didn't hear Chris.
Oh, okay, gotcha, cool.
Mute button.
Oh,
How about like a 5?
that makes sense to me. They ain't chumps. And let's see, I go Dex Brawl, and I think I understand that right. You use, if you unlock something with a key, then you use the linked attribute on uses of the haunt, right?
With the synergy haunt rolls, yes. Not
With the synergy haunt rolls. Cool, great, fantastic, thank you. That was a distinction I wanted to confirm. Excellent. Yep.
Yeah, for like Clash of Wills.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Stuff like that.
that makes complete sense to me. Yep. Fantastic. Alrighty. So we are going to. Is there anything else? No, there isn't anything else. We're gonna take a -5 to that. And we're gonna roll it up, baby. He gets a hit. And he does 6 damage. He has 5
yeah,
dots in rage.
Rip one of these things apart. And I think from there, yeah, we have a bit of a scene of Quincy turning himself into a beastly turret of violence.
Yeah.
As anything that swoops near gets promptly obliterated.
Just
Yeah.
shredded.
Just shreds, you say.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And how about their ghost bat wife? Just shreds, you say.
I imagine that he would try and bait it in, like try and appear defenseless at first. I mean, and then after the one gets shredded, it'd probably be hard for him to act like that, to feign vulnerability. But he would attempt to do it to lure them in. And then if they wouldn't, he would just start roaming out, swiping, and maybe moving in the air and jostling people accidentally with his parachute as he's trying to reach as many of them as possible.
Okay.
And he starts growling in an inhuman way as he's doing this,
Love that.
as it resounds from the walls of the cavern.
We are once again left with the scene of the rest of the crew worried about Stafford.
I mean, he seems to have things figured out
Yep.
in his own way.
It works for him, right?
It's working.
Eventually you do notice that there's almost some sort of shelf that you've passed below.
Ooh.
And there is a sort of sparkly feeling of like glowing minerals and stuff. And it seems that is the reflection that you had seen coming off of the river. And in the turbulence of the fight and the descent, you have steered away from that river. And you land down in what you realize is a bit of a like slot canyon kind of thing.
Oh, cool.
With just enough light to see by, but a rather narrow kind of crevasse that you've ended up in. or a rather narrow crevasse is what you have ahead of you. You've kind of landed in an open area that seems almost made for arrivals.
Ooh, wonderful. And by
Great.
Slot Canyon, should we assume some of the very cool aesthetic from southwestern slot canyons? It's like a mixed and variegated color, but instead looking like bone and blood, ichor.
It is sort of like that, except the layers and gradations of stone are, you quickly realize, processed layers of the dead.
Yes.
And you kind of land and gather your bearings, and I think in a sort of, well, what else are we going to do? You start walking ahead, right?
Mhm.
And there is around one corner a ghost that is a ghost of a woman that, you know, her feet are sort of stuck into the ground and she can't move. And then further down, and y'all can like stop and interact at some point after I'm done with the narration, but a little further down there's a guy that seems to have leaned back for a rest and just sort of in a the vibe I'm going for here is like Pirates of the Caribbean, like part of the ship, part of the crew, sort of.
Yep.
Yeah. And the further in you get after, you know, a 5 or 10 minute walk, the further into the underworld you have gone. You feel it getting heavier a little bit is the best way you can probably put it into words. And there are not only more ghosts, but there are less of each. If that makes sense. And after a while, you come to a almost squared off, unnatural geometric part of this canyon, and it is just lined with not even whole faces, but just parts of, you know, a couple eyes here that don't even go together.
Wow.
Just, you know, like the bottom of a jaw kind of jutting out at one point. And you are quickly able to see that none of these ghosts have any essence. And they are being, for lack of a better term, digested.
Ooh.
Bodies in the trash compactor. I think Cody has this moment of like looking at this stuff. You know, we've gathered everybody together, we're walking, and kind of just talking aloud to it that bleeds and goes, this is normal?
Oh, yes.
Oh, it is?
Why would it not be?
It's horrible.
This would be, I think, one of the first times that It That Bleeds is just openly talking to anybody else. And he just like turns, like his head just rotating, and the meat that he is made up of having no real bearing on like an internal spinal structure.
Ooh, yeah.
And just like completely just like 180 like
Twisting.
fucking owl twists.
Yes.
His entire like torso and head at the same time.
He's got a Twizzler body now.
He's a Gumby.
He's okay. I was trying to make it horrible, and you guys made it funny. But thanks.
This is my horrific
redlined
piece.
it.
You leave it below.
You redlined it.
Jesus Christ. Yes, of course this is normal.
Like for every ghost that comes down here?
Those that don't have essence are consumed.
So yeah, we can't like Cody has a moment, right? Considering his route, and goes, "Oh damn, It's like, we have to stop." Like, name one of our ghosts here, right? We can't let any of them come down here. That this is what waits them. Like, this is not some eternal quiet repose and rest.
If they have no essence.
Right, but there's no essence to be found down here.
Not unless you take it.
Thefford says, "Do not give in to weakness, descending into hell."
Oh, I don't plan on it, but also I don't want any more. Damn.
If that's the way of it, then we just need to make sure that our friends are adept predators.
Okay, yeah.
My route is gardener, which means that, yeah, okay, fine, we're just gonna make sure ours are on top.
And I think Louis speaks up. You don't have to take from others. If you are willing to obey their laws, there are places down here which will give you sustenance.
Like, say, 3 square meals a day?
Well, metaphorically, yes.
Yes, but that's, I mean, we're looking for an army camp, right?
Yes.
That is presumably, yeah.
Well, that explains the whole, like, how do you recruit an army thing then? Okay, so now we just have to search the infinite, dark, spooky underworld for an army camp that is recruiting.
I feel like it shouldn't be that far.
Yeah,
We might find the trail of those, seeking those meals, seeking to avoid becoming more sediment.
that's a good point. And Cody is going to backtrack to one of those that were still cognizant, or if there's one ahead, and see if he can nudge one of these ghosts into, "Hey, where were you headed, buddy?"
Yeah, there is a ghost that is just sort of I think by some manner of ill luck has had his hands be the first thing to start be absorbed into the wall.
Oh no.
And he just sort of slowly, sadly turns his head when you come back up. And just stares.
Where were you headed, friend, before you sat down to take a nap?
I don't know. What is wrong with you? You don't belong here. You don't belong here.
Actually, yes, that is
You're from.
half and half, friend. Half and half.
You
There's
can-
me, and then there's
You can help. You can help me.
maybe. If you can help me,
He just turns to the Centurion and says, "Can we help him?"
I mean, if he needs essence,
Yeah.
Centurion just plainly says, "Every soldier needs something to eat."
This is really jumping up and down on the advocate route.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just, can I just give him plasma?
Sure. What's up?
3 plasm, 1 essence.
Plasma is 1 essence.
3 plasm is 1 essence. It's expensive for us to dole out.
Yep.
This is why we have the rituals to do the feeding instead of feeding ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna lean into advocate and give him some
Okay.
plasma.
That's fine. Yeah, you're welcome to get a willpower back for that. And you kind of form up a bit of plasm and like hold it out to him, and he just sort of is standing there with his arms trapped in the wall, just like.
No, she would feed him.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if it applies, but aesthetically, it's like a loaf of bread or a baguette or something.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just shoving into his mouth.
Yeah.
Bite.
It just.
Eat
Yeah, it-
whole
Feeding like a
baguette.
grandmother might feed an invalid
Yeah,
child. Or
You go to
grandchild.
just like give him a bite, and like the entire baguette just like.
Yes.
And he yanks his hands out. Okay.
Cody, okay. Because Cody was going to grab him by the shoulder. Hang on, buddy.
And he just like, it's like compared to the just the dullness that he had, it's like a shock of life has just been injected into him. He is like, best I can, like, he's on coke now. Like, he's like, all right, let's fucking go. I don't want to be trapped here anymore. What are y'all doing? What the
What's
fuck
your-
are you? Why am I
What's your
here?
name? What's your name, son? Let's start there.
Rude, Craig.
So- Sorry. This is
Yeah,
grandmother. She's gonna want to know
Uh,
his name.
that's not important. Pretty sure that's not important.
Can I call
Because
you?
I don't know. But how about walls pressing in? Not great. Don't want to be here. What the fuck are you people?
Not important.
How are you dead? How are you alive?
Also not important.
What are you doing here?
Do you want more? That is important.
That's a good question, yes.
That is
We are looking for an army camp.
Okay.
Have you heard one?
Yeah, let's go find it.
Have you heard of it?
Yeah, probably.
And like Cody gives Dorothy just this one little look of just like, see?
You hear this like kind of low growl coming from Stafford, and he says, "I suggest you give us more definitive answers. We have a task to perform before we can leave, and you are freed to aid us in that."
Okay. My bad. What the fuck is that? And he points at jagged shards.
Cody's like, okay, listen. You ever heard the phrase "good cop, bad cop"?
It's a ghost.
No,
Geist.
I'm a ghost. Fuck.
There are.
I'm a ghost. That sucks.
Sorry.
It could be worse. You could be a ghost stuck in a wall. Things are definitely looking up.
Grand.
Step one, get you
I'm
out of here.
gonna, you know what? And he like puts his arm around you, I'm gonna, you know what? She fed me. This is my new friend.
Dorothy.
This is my new friend, Dorothy. Thank you. That's weird that she didn't say that. Okay, so I'm a ghost. We're in. Fuck, are we in hell?
By some
We're in the
definitions.
Kinda, yeah. The underworld, we call it.
That
Oh
name
my
works
God, it's
just
'cause I
as well
cursed a
as
lot,
many
isn't it?
others.
I
Sorry.
think this happens to everyone.
Well, all right. That's great news, actually. For me, personally. Worst news for like the people that behave themselves.
But yeah, it's not a personal punishment.
Great, love that. Okay. Wow.
So yeah, if you don't want to get eaten by a wall, you need to learn to eat.
Sounds great. He walks over and just like starts trying to like take a bite out of another ghost.
How's that working for you,
Yes.
champ?
Feast.
I think they're empty too, but
Yeah.
all right. Well, let's go find some that aren't.
So you haven't heard of an army camp down here recruiting, offering essence.
Not particularly. That doesn't mean we can't find it though.
Like, Cody is done now. It's like,
Have you seen any ghosts that look like soldiers?
He like looks down at his uniform. Yep.
Older soldiers. We're looking for Napoleonic soldiers.
I mean, they'd probably be eaten by the wall by now, right?
You are quickly outlasting your usefulness.
Whoa. Okay. I am.
It is
fucking
only on
trying here,
Dorothy's
man.
leave.
I got down here some time ago, eaten by a wall partially, and then here's these 4 people, and they're weird. What is that? What is that? What are you? At
remember
least
that
you look like a.
usefulness comment?
Oh,
That
you
is
said a
not
Napoleonic
your
ghost. There's one right there. There's one
concern.
right there. I found him. He's right there.
Another one. This one is mine.
Damn it. All right.
Well, either way, you need to learn to eat. You need to not be right here.
Sounds great.
If
Let's
you
do
can't
that
help
together.
us, you should go somewhere else.
Okay. This army
You know,
camp? What is this
there's a-
army camp you're talking about?
You don't want to go there. It's
Why not?
bad.
We're probably gonna light it on fire or something.
And
Oh,
I'm going to call you Ben. What you can do, is you come with us.
okay. Yeah, that's what I was suggesting.
And she catches the glare. We could probably arrange. We know someone that could probably give you a job. 3 squares a day.
Yeah.
Sure,
All right.
sure beats getting eaten by a wall down here, don't you think?
I've never been. That was almost a memory. I don't think I was very good at jobs.
You
That
don't
does not
say.
surprise us.
And he looks down. There's like a giant fucking cannonball hole in his stomach. Not cannonball, but like explosion hole in his
Yeah.
stomach. He's like, I don't think I was a very good soldier either, if I'm being honest.
You were excellent at dying. That's why you're here.
Thank you. That's the nicest thing anybody said so far.
Or maybe that hole was because you jumped on a grenade and saved a bunch of people.
I'm gonna be honest, that doesn't feel right.
You know,
I
I'm
also
trying-
disagree with that suggestion.
Have you seen a wolf? Big ghost wolf. That's standout, right? You would remember if you'd seen one this whole time?
Heard one.
Which direction?
He like goes and like almost puts his hands back to the wall and then stops himself. It's like I was that way. And it's like up and off to the left.
Thank you. That was what we needed. Again, down here, you either need to feed from other ghosts
Mhm.
or find a dominion to live in. That's what they are, right?
Or make myself useful to 4 people that seem to be able to feed me.
You've already demonstrated that is impossible.
Okay.
He was just useful.
Seems like we got off to a wrong start here, Mr. Yelly Man. How can I be of service?
Cody turns this into a walk and talk, by the way. Like,
Oh yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
we're moving now.
Uh-huh. And he's like just absolutely like dancing around, like trying to, and like commenting on every other ghost you're passing. It's like, bad
Chris,
choice, mate.
have you seen the latest season of Stranger Things?
No.
Okay.
So in response to how can he make himself useful, Zephyr looks at him and says, the chief way is to do what you failed to do in life, which is avoid becoming a nuisance.
You got it, man.
Arthur winces again.
So anyways, and then he just starts talking again, like, all right, and he's like, at this point, he's like starting to put together a little bit of memory, a little bit of something, and then, like, out of nowhere, he just shouts, "Benjamin, how did you know? That was right."
Lucky guess.
Wow. See, that's fate. We might be in hell, but I guess fate still exists.
I mean, yeah.
Anyways, so I guess we'll just make our way out of this. I don't think I can climb this thing.
Oh no, you okay, so this isn't hell. It's like hell, but it's, and hell has multiple layers.
Sure.
Sure, yeah, with me? Yeah, we're at the bottom. So you are welcome to tag along, but I think at this point, I'm not going to be keeping an eye out on you. I know Stafford is not keeping an eye out on you. Dorothy might.
Right. Dorothy's
No.
great.
Right.
My new best friend.
But your best hope is to tag along, follow directions, and currently stop giving away our position.
What do you mean?
We can relieve you of your ability to speak if you have trouble avoiding doing so.
What the fuck, man? Holy shit.
Yeah, this is sort of a reconnaissance stealth mission, so
Oh,
just
okay.
gotta
Cool.
tone
Yeah,
it down a
keep
bit.
it nice
again-
and stealthy like.
We probably
You want me
won't
to-
be able to keep feeding you because we will need that you are fed to
Yeah, sure. How long
learn
do we-
things in case things go bad. We might need
I
to
mean, I'm
fight.
feeling nice and full right now. I mean, not like full, like I could eat, but like.
But yeah. In theory, we could probably get you to a safer spot down here or get you a job,
Sounds great. I'm just.
but you have to be quiet.
Yes, ma'am.
Doc and Dorothy just going to say, Ben, think of this as a new beginning. Whatever you were before, it doesn't matter. You can be something different now.
Yeah, like a ghost.
Yeah. Not exactly what I was going for, but that's a start.
I get it. Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. You don't want me to scout ahead?
No.
No,
Okay.
just stay with us and try and keep the noise down.
You got it. Okay. He proceeds to talk as much, but just very quietly.
That's fine. Progress.
And I'm done doing communicating
Oh,
with
no,
this
you're
guy
great.
now.
You're terrific.
Good time.
Yep. For those not watching live, Ash says, "I love him, honestly." My response is, no.
No.
Period. No, we
We'll find
cannot
him
keep him. No,
We'll find
you
him a
cannot
nice
feed
town
him.
to live in.
No.
I'm not going to feed him. I don't
Yeah.
have that much to spend willy-nilly, and
Should have brought
Yeah.
the Reaper mask with you.
No. That's far worse.
Benjamin,
Yeah.
we need you to try this out for us.
if we can find him a nice town to live in, to leave him in,
We can find him a nice wall to leave him in.
he seems
Look,
nice.
He's my responsibility. I'll look after him, okay?
Oh, that was out of character.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I appreciate that Ralph for like a long time now, has preached empathy and understanding of all characters involved in the game. And then there's a coked up fucking annoying ghost, and he's like, you know what? Fuck him.
Yeah.
Put him in the wall.
Yeah, it's and Stafford, he's topped up rage. This is the worst possible situation in his mind. We've lost collective resources, and he's going to present a problem.
Yeah, I think at this point now there's this kind of trail, right? You've got Stafford and Cody up front, Adelaide somewhere in the middle, and then Dorothy and Ben as far back as we could possibly put him.
And she's like gently but firmly trying to keep a leash on him. Yeah.
I mean, he did point us in what is presumably the right direction, so.
Yeah. No, not mad at that, but it's just like, man, of all the ghosts in all the underworld, why did we get Ben?
You picked that one?
Love him. Yeah. At this point, we have a direction to head. We are in a canyon, so it's more or less.
You have a direction out of this canyon. You do not know really where you're going.
No, I just meant more of a like when we finally come out of the canyon. Left or right? Which way do we go? We have a general idea. Now, of course, Ben could be full of shit, but it's still
Ben doesn't know anything.
Yeah, it's still a toss-up, anyways. So we might as well go that way until we find something further.
I think it is this point that we will get in the next 10 minutes, we'll sneak in a navigation roll.
Yep.
Do a little traversing of the underworld, and then set y'all up for a thrilling conclusion the next time.
This sounds like it would be terrible for navigating by society.
I had 2 points in survival.
I think Stafford wants to try navigating by architecture. Oh no, you know what? Not the first time in the underworld.
Technically.
So let's see.
I also have 3 points in empathy and a specialization in giving palliative comfort to people. So you're a ghost.
Do navigation by architecture. Again. Try again.
That's actually what I did before when I got the bonus condition. Sort of.
One thing to point out, Ralph, real quick, because I know you're looking at architecture. We are in the lower mysteries, so that's a big old -5.
Oh, we're in the lower mysteries? Was that said explicitly?
That was my assumption, but okay.
No.
The lower mysteries real deep.
Yeah, you're not that deep.
Okay.
You're in the upper reaches. You just fell for a while.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Just some fucked up geography.
But yeah, does my +2 condition apply to the ghosts here?
Remind me what the condition is.
It was a bonus to communicate with the ghosts in that area.
Connected, right? Yeah, because you got an acceptable test after Ralph botched the last one, right?
Yep. That shows dramatic failure. Yep.
I couldn't remember that, but yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, it was failure.
Yeah, so yeah, you can totally use that.
Failure.
Cash in on +2, cancel out the sparsely populated area. Tell me how you're approaching this navigation.
For me, I was gonna, use empathy and try to communicate with the ghosts that we can find in the area and get information from them.
Okay. Yeah. Presence or manipulation plus empathy to kind of, like you said, kind of palliative kind of talks to these ghosts that are being absorbed by the wall and getting little bits of information out of them. And
yeah, I'm basically trying to help them come to terms with what's going on, and just be a comforting voice there as you are passing on again.
I dig it. Yeah, sounds good.
Specialization gives a +1.
Mhm.
Jesus. Okay.
Shit.
8 successes.
God
8
damn.
successes on 10
Wow.
dice.
On 10 dice. Wow.
We got
Well, that's
3
where
tens,
all your other
4
ones were
tens.
from that first
Shit.
roll. Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, it is.
Do I get a willpower back?
Sure. And you get connected to the culture at the destination. So, and this is going to be a multi-leg journey to try and discover where this camp is and stuff like that. But what you do manage is that you quickly find out that none of these ghosts have any idea about a camp or anything like that. But it sounds like to them it sounds like something that has to be on the other side of the river, deeper down. And so then with Cody having like really gotten a good look at the river and kind of directed everybody on where to land and stuff, and talking to everybody, you figure a good way to start talking about that with people, and like, I wish I could have made it there, and just some real sad being absorbed ghosts, and like Ben is doing his best to hold it together, right? Just not just like laugh in people's faces. It's like, I get to move, they fed me. He doesn't actually do that, but it's in there. It's the thought that counts, right?
Yeah, that's what's going on for him.
And
For Dorothy, it's like everyone is a stab in the heart.
oh yeah, for sure. Explicitly designed by me as the ST to do this.
I only got 4 left.
Yep.
We're gonna need
Wait,
something
what?
in the tank when we get there.
Oh, wait, hold on. How do you
No,
have
your
one?
plasm should be. Oh, Shroud.
No, yeah.
Yeah, how many did you use?
Use 2 on it. And then 3 more.
You gain
So,
half
yeah.
back.
Mhm.
Wait, you should have more than that.
Oh, you're right. I should have 6
What's your...
because I
what's your
forgot the
standard?
4 for the key. 2,
Yeah.
so 11 is my max. We're
Yep.
10 full tank
Yep.
and in. So
Mhm.
9, 8, 7, 6. I should
5,
have 6. So I got
5.
6 left.
6 left, yeah. Yep. So I think we'll leave off tonight with navigating through this maze-like slot canyon, and at some point you get to a part of the canyon where there are just no ghosts left, and I think the exceptional success is that the last little bit of ghost that you see is just a single finger pointing in a direction.
Ooh, cool.
And you turn a corner and step out and almost just step out, and there's just sheer walls out to either side back behind you. And out of this just raw rock and everything that you've been walking on pans out to some like very like pebbled riverbank with some reeds and stuff like that growing up out of it, and
Cool.
there is a small like dock. Like town is a very strong word, right? There is a couple buildings that are slapped together with like material that is decaying before your eyes, and just a couple of ghosts that are staring at the dock and at the dark shrouded figure standing at the end of the dock on their small ship.
Sweet
And by ship, I
ferryman.
mean, yeah, it is
Ferryman.
Awesome.
What's up?
Saying it was awesome.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we will leave on walking up and just a few figures of the dead, like flipping their coin in the air, like deciding whether or not it's worth the trip. And off in the distance, you hear a large splash as something surfaces out of the water and jumps out of it, flops out of it, breaches and exhales through a blowhole. You're not exactly sure what the sound you just heard. It doesn't totally make sense, but we will leave off with the threat of dead things in the water.
Oh, sweet. So it seems threatening. That's the impression we get.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's what Stefford needs.
Yep. Oh, he's going to come back just
Again.
Constantly angry. It's
Just gonna
the
fight
key
the
of
river
beast
beast.
yeah, the key of beast is constantly resonant down here. There's no humanity, right? It's just-
Well, I mean, there's a little bit of humanity, but yeah.
I get
just
fair enough.
deciding
But
to
what I mean is it
Moby
isn't.
Dick in the underworld.
Yes, exactly. I just mean humanity isn't dominant as
Right.
described in the key. That's all right.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, if
so
we
he's-
were in like a nice river town, but
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's not where we are.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So he's probably just going to be feeling hopped up on adrenaline, like his hackles are raised constantly. And that's what I was trying to portray in his response to
Oh, yeah.
Ben. In another context, he might be a little more patient.
Oh, for
but,
sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he had just dropped the rage and, this is new for him to be constantly feeling embroiled in savagery or the
No, it was
impulse
cool. It was
to
good.
indulge it.
I look forward to
All right.
telling Knight Commander, what happened to, Warrant Officer Stefford Quincy Jones? He went full Ahab.
Yeah,
Just leave it at that.
White whale, sir. Ah, yes, Holy Grail.
Yep. He's gonna shoot shards right into the blowhole. Pop it.
That's not how things work. All right,
Lord.
so with that, we will leave you all, and I'm so sorry to tell you that we will not be playing next week. We have a week off as someone is going to be busy. But that's fine because we will return, and we will finish up our what is likely to be the finale. That is what we're planning on it being. But if we run long and want to explore a couple more things, then that's fine too. That's part of this whole phase of OA of exploring some other games and stuff, is that we're not on a timetable. We're not, sprinting through games to get back to Mage. We're playing some fun, spooky shit and doing some other things for a while. As always, I have enjoyed running the spookiness for my players and for you all at home. If you would like to come and chat about this game or any of our other games or birds or any of the good stuff we have on Discord, come check us out and hang out. Is yeetinto.space. If you have enjoyed our if you enjoy what we do and feel like giving us some of your money dollars, then you can check us out on Patreon, staylucky.club. We will see y'all in 2 weeks. We love you. Stay spooky.
Happy Halloween.
By the time this comes out on YouTube, it will be past Halloween. So I hope you had a good Halloween. And you got lots of candy and you didn't upset your tummy because you ate as much candy as you used to eat as a kid. And now you're in your 30s and it just doesn't work like that anymore. I love you all and I hope you have a wonderful night.
Bye.
Stay spooky.
Later.
Everybody.